Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am, this is Jared. Jared from Jared's Custom Lures, obviously. So you're probably wondering from the thumbnail, what does Minwax, water, and an airbrush have to do with lures? Well, it's simple. You can use it as a mid coat or a clear coat. You can dip it, just plain Minwax, let it dry, dip it again. I recommend at least 3 coats if you're not putting anything over it. Minimum 3. I would do 5. But I use it as a mid 95% of the time. I use an airbrush. And the airbrush, that's what the water's for. Mix it with 85% floor wax, 15% distilled water. Airbrush I'm using is a cheap airbrush from Harbor Freight. Has to be a 0.5 needle. It sprays really great. Just bump up your air pressure a little bit more, and it just comes out really nice. I'm going to show you how I do it on a glide bait. But highly recommended ventilation when you're spraying this stuff. So I'm going to turn my booth on high. I'm going to spray it, and once we're done, I will show you how I put my UV clear on. Again, ventilation, booth on high. My air pressure set at 30 pounds. Cheap Harbor Freight airbrush, non-gravity fed, siphon fed. And I start from one end. It's great. The bottom. That is actually the 3rd coat I've put on this. But just to go simply show you how easy it is to spray it on. But it's very, very important that you have well ventilation and some sort of exhaust. If you don't have any ventilation or any exhaust, spray this stuff outside on a calm day. That way the wind's not blowing and getting dust in it. This stuff takes about 15-20 minutes to dry. So after it's dry, we'll be back on, and we'll show you what else I do.
A few moments later.
All right, it's been about 20 minutes. I've let it dry, and I took a piece of sticky note, cut it down a little bit, about yay much off, and I push it in between the two pieces there, if you can see that. What that does is gives me a good gap here, and a good gap down here for when I spread on UV clear. I use the stuff from Amazon. I got a complete setup for it, which I'll talk more about that after we put the bait in the dryer. I utilize this. I use a cheap brush from the dollar store. I used to use these, but knocked the camera. I used to use these acid brushes from Harbor Freight, but these kept on coming out. The bristles kept on falling off, and I would find them dried, hardened inside the bait. I went to cheap brushes from Harbor Freight, or excuse me, not Harbor Freight. Cheap brushes from the dollar store, and I reuse it by making a little sleeve. Slide it in. As long as it doesn't hit sunlight, it stays fresh. And I can get about maybe 60 or 70 baits with one. Then I throw it away and get another one. So, dip my brush down in there. I leave it on this because when it goes through the dryer, it rotates. And I just brush it up to the edge. Brush it back, let it fall down in there. give it one good coat. Take it to the tail. Brush it up to get it in all those scales. See how it's kind of gathering up on the bottom. I'll push it all the way up to the edge. Pull it up again. Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. Come across the top. And then I pull it down this way. Take your time. UV does not dry unless it's under UV light. I like it. I used to use KBS Diamond Clear Coat. I loved it. It worked great. The only thing I don't like about it is the curing time. Would take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours depending on the humidity in your basement or shop. And then you have to let it sit for a good 5 to 7 days to cure 100%. Here with UV, throw it in the dry box, bring it out 15 minutes later. I could fish it today. It's one of the reasons why I chose to go UV. That, and it just lasts. It lasts really well with using the... I'll let that stop. But it lasts very well. Especially with that Minwax mid coat. It allows this UV to really hold to it really well. Take your time, go slow. Get every little nook and cranny. If need be, you can go over it again with a second coat. Sometimes you get that little bit of separation. Just go over it with a second coat. Just make sure you go over the whole bait and not just the spot that was missed. And there's no preparation for that. You just apply it with your brush. Put it back in the dry box. You know what I think I forgot to do to this lure? Oh, nope, I did. My name's on it. Brush it really good. Push it in there. I've noticed that if you go into the gill plate, into pushing it into it, that it grabs and holds it a lot easier. Instead of pulling down, you'll actually get some gaps and miss if you brush this way. So I always make sure I finish going against it. And it actually grabs it and holds it. Utilize the light to see if you miss anywhere. Right across the top up here I missed. Throw it in that dry box. Alright, so here is my dry box. I got this at a thrift store a few years back. They were going out of business, so I was able to get it for like 20 bucks. I think it was an old cart for kitchen. What I ended up doing was removing the top. I left it loose, allow airflow to go in because my UV lights are up there underneath this. I'll open it up and I'll show you real quick. So my UV lights are up there. I got 2 of them. I did 3D print these turners, and if I could find a link, we'll post it. I know it's older. I got 2 of them, one on each side. As you can see, the bait going around. The reason why I like doing it like this, see how it flops when it rotates? Keeps it from sticking up. So we'll let that run. I bought motors on Amazon, turners, that I drilled a hole into the side here and run them off of power. And the crazy thing is I have it all set up to an app that I can turn on and off with my phone. Hence what the Zima light's for. Zima light reminds me that I have stuff running and going. So I'm going to let this turn for about 15 minutes. And once it's out, I'll come back. Alrighty guys, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's check on it. Oh yeah, she's dry. Oh, another thing I love, I have this set up to an app to shut it off. Let's go down here. Alright, let's go take a look at that over here. As you can see, it just came out of the box. No blemishes. Came out very nice, very simple, very durable. If I don't use the Minwax, I've noticed it will cause some issues, like where it wasn't prepped properly, the clear will just peel right off. So I recommend using the Minwax 100%. You can also use it by itself. Just remember, many coats. No blemishes. The trick with the piece of paper stuck in between the joint works perfectly. I did use a rubber band before and it kind of got stuck in there. So I've been using this trick for all my swim baits, jointed swim baits. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I will get back to you. Again, thank you very much for watching the video. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification. It's free. It helps us out tremendously. And we got some news coming here in the next month or so. Possibly a new channel coming out of just nothing but fishing with custom baits. Stay tuned for that. Guys, stay safe and we'll see you next time.